We just left here. I told y'all, as soon as I go lay down, as soon as I put on pajamas and go lay down. Hold on, let me put on something so I'm not half naked. I told y'all. I told y'all it would happen as soon as I laid down and got comfortable. That's okay. That's okay. You know why? Because we're getting it over with now. And oops. Oh. Brand. Nope. Nope. That won't work. All right. No intro, no outro, no none of that. Well, we'll do an outro, but that takes less effort. As soon I told y'all what was gonna happen. That let me get my stuff up on my other. That I was so tired, and I was like, all I need to reach a verdict is to go lay down, and then we'll get one. And sure enough, back off. All right. Welcome back. It's been a while. How long has it been? How long has it been? Been like 1 minute. 1 minute. But you know what? At least I got to rest for that 1 minute. And forget verdict eyebrows. I want to have to start taking verdict naps. That's where the party's at. Look, I go take a verdict nap, and then all of a sudden, bam. Figured that would happen. All right. Okay, so total deliberation time, 7 hours and 35 minutes. Seven hours and 35 minutes. I don't know how long they gave them to get in there, but it can't be long. I mean, they're right around there. Well, let's talk about that because I was planning on doing OnlyFans. I mean, not like planning on doing OnlyFans instead of a trial. I mean, I was planning on doing the OnlyFans trial. However, I guess it ain't starting. They're talking about it being delayed. So I'm gonna have to look at it. But Boy in the Box, everybody keeps asking me about that one. So we might do that one next. Jury selection, I think, starts tomorrow, which is good because we can't start the trial tomorrow because I'm too tired and we're gonna be on verdict watch. But that's okay. We have, let me close out of some of this crap I'm in. I knew as soon as I laid down, I was like, let me not even put on pajamas. Who am I fooling? I meant like a pajama top. I already had pajama bottoms on all day. Slip of the tongue. Oh God, what did I say? Oh, the OnlyFans. Just gonna do OnlyFans. OnlyFans feet fondler. That's where the money's at. What is Boy in a Box? Well, that one. I think jury selection starts tomorrow. All right, let's pull it up while we're waiting on them. Boy in the Box case trial set to begin Friday. So it's Jupiter, Florida. Because it's always Florida. Of course it's Florida. Where else would it be? Idaho. That's where else it would be. It's got to be. Jupiter's like north of West Palm Beach. Oh, you need me on the other side? Well, let me just move for you, darling. Let me move to the other side. There we go. I am moved. Now you can see my face. Yeah, I knew because I had it on my phone, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, I had time to like make one phone call, and then I'm like, okay, let me lay down, and then I hear noise. Of course. That's all right. That's good. It's good. It's a good thing. We're getting it over with now. We are. Oh yeah, Boy in the Box. Yep. Can't even focus. That's how tired I am. They have not read it yet. We're waiting on them to all get in there, apparently. All right. All right. Wake up, wake up, wake up. All right. So, Boy in the Box. A couple accused of child abuse and false imprisonment after their adopted teenage son told police he was forced to live in a tiny enclosure in the family garage are about to stand trial. CBS News team has been covering the Boy in the Box case since Timothy and Tracy, how is it, Ferreter? Were arrested February of last year. Their 14-year-old son was missing, and when police went to the home, they discovered an 8x8 box in the garage containing a mattress and a bucket. As Timothy's trial looms. All right, let's see. Case overview. when 15 heavily armed officers raided a suburban Jupiter home in 2022 in the garage, they found a small room whose door was locked from the outside. There was a peephole for a camera, a mattress, and a bucket for a bathroom. Police and prosecutors say that this is where Timothy and Tracy kept their teenage son. Both are being criminally charged while a separate case plays out in family court regarding their children. We found that the boy's disappearance was not the first time police had been told about the tiny box-like room in the garage. We spoke exclusively to the contractor who built the box. How would you like to be that contractor who built that box? Having no clue what you're building that for. Thinking like, oh, storage, tools, something. Can you imagine? He said he lived in Arizona and he just bought a house in Jupiter and they wanted to move in very soon. He wanted to build in the garage of the house he just bought in Jupiter an office. He says it was an office. As the project, oh, let me tweet this. I told everybody I'd tweet. I forgot. Hold on. BRB. Stand right there. Wait right there. Hold on. Hold your horses. We're coming. Hold on. And it's in Florida because of course it's in Florida. It's always either Florida or Idaho or Wisconsin. Okay. Let me tweet this. Y'all, I'm too tired to multitask. I got to do one thing at a time in this moment in time. Talk amongst yourselves. I don't even remember what most everybody said murder in the first, laying in wait, right? I think so. Which would be life in prison, I think is what they said. Gareth Pursehouse. Amie Harwick. Hashtag justice. Oh, Amie. All right. See, I can do one thing at a time. That's all I need. 7 hours and 35 minutes is 7 hours and 35 minutes. All right. So here we go. All right. What are we talking about? Boy in a box. All right. So as the project neared completion, the contractor became suspicious. No air conditioning. The lock and light switch on the outside. A hole for a camera. This didn't sound like an office for dad. You think? What could be the reason to reverse locks on an office in the garage, which is completely sealed? The only reason I could come up with was he wants to lock a person over there. And that's the reason he wanted to switch the light on the outside He wanted the switch. I can't talk. He wanted the switch light on the outside. And the reason you would want the second ceiling so the person could not escape. What? Oh, thank you. Thank you. No C trial looked good, but here for verdict. I'm glad you're here for the verdict. This one was a wild one. This is the sex therapist murder trial. This is the one that had is Drew Carey's former fiance. And yeah. And he's a tool bag. So he's so gross. Y'all, for those of y'all who didn't watch it, yesterday, was it yesterday? Everything's running together. Tuesday? I don't know. It all runs together. Whatever day. For those of y'all who didn't watch it, so this fella is like he has his little, his little friends with their little haircuts come and visit him in jail, and they've got video of them talking in jail. And this is how messed up he is. He's like, oh yeah, you can sell my jokes, for because now I'm like a high profile, celebrity, basically, because of all this. What? No, you ain't. You ain't nothing. Amie was. You ain't. And he's like, oh, you can take my jokes and sell it for $1 million. Them jokes ain't worth the paper they were written on. He's not funny. He's not even close to being funny. This is why he's a failed comedian. He's awful. He's not funny at all. So for him to say, oh, yeah, you could, sell this for $1 million. No, you can't. Here's one thing I know. Here's a little ditty. Here's a little ditty that I know. In order to sell jokes, they gotta be funny. He ain't funny. Then he gives this, well, he talks about bedroom things that we're not going to talk about. But also, he says that he asked them to go get all of his bedroom toys out. Ugh, gross. And he's like, now keep in mind, because of him, this beautiful life is lost. This beautiful person who, and I say beautiful in the sense of a soul. Like, I mean, God, Lord knows she's a knockout. She's a beautiful girl. Beautiful girl. But when I say this beautiful soul, I mean, like, she was a therapist. She, dedicated her time to helping people. Have y'all looked at her Instagram or her Twitter? She's not like on Instagram and Twitter, like just selfies with her goodies hanging out or nothing. Like she's a beautiful woman, but that's not who she, like, that's not like where he's got like that shallow level is all we're seeing. Like she's so much like deeper than that. Like all of her posts are like, trying to encourage others and help others and, help people's mental health. And she's dedicating her time. And I mean, she's like she's a good person. And to, take that life away and then laugh about, oh, does this get me to bad boy status? No, that gets you life without parole. Jerk. Go lay down. Go lay down on your flat little mat and eat your bologna sandwich and don't talk. He's gross. Not a fan. he's very superficial. She had depth and kindness, and she did everything right, which makes it even more frustrating because Lord knows there are some crazy fellas out there. There are some crazy heifers out there. And if there were ever a way to write like textbook how to respond to the nonsense, man, she did everything right. And that's what's so sad about it. And he's laughing about, just give me bad boy status. Ugh. So gross. So gross. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm never going anywhere. I'm going to be here. She tried to calm the situation, but she firmly set boundaries. She didn't say, you know, she didn't appease him and like in the sense of like, oh yeah, we can talk, and give him some kind of false sense of hope. She said, this, you know, this is not going anywhere. This is not like, you know, hey, I'm glad you got some stuff off your chest, but this is where it ends. It's not healthy. No, you can't have a hug. No, you can't, you know, come over. No, we ain't going to talk again. We ain't going to be Netflix and chilling. She did everything the right way, and he stole her from the world, and that sucks. And he sucks. And his jokes suck. I got my cranky pants on. Y'all see that? Forget the sassy pants. My cranky pants are on today. Not today, just tonight, because I was in bed. And then we get a verdict. I told y'all that would happen. I knew it. Brandi caught me off guard going live. I was waiting till 8. Well, I caught myself off guard going live. Because I sure thought I was about to go to sleep. My eyeballs were barely closed. And then up and at 'em on my 2 hours of sleep. That's okay. There are worse problems to have. I'm very blessed. Jen, thank you so much. Jen says, rest well tonight. I will, definitely. Look, by the time they get out here, the verdict's going to be read, and I'm going to be like, over here, mouth breathing and ugly snoring and all that stuff. Y'all going to be like, hey, can you mute your mic so we can hear? If I start snoring, y'all just carry on. Just carry on.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are on the record in the matter of People versus Gareth Pursehouse. We are on the record in the matter of People versus Gareth Pursehouse. We have all jurors defended. Who is the fourth person? Juror number 1. Is it correct that the jury has a verdict? You can have the verdict formed over to the bailiff, please.
Here we go. Bye, Felicia. I still got my toast.
All right, Mr. Clerk, if you would read the verdicts onto the record, please.
The Superior Court of the State of California, County of Los Angeles, Department 107, case number BA 485-380, people of the State of California versus Gareth Pursehouse. As to count 1, with the jury, the above entitled action finding defendant, Gareth Pursehouse, guilty of the crime of murder in the first degree in violation of Penal Code Section 187, subsection A crime as charged in count 1 of the information. We further find the allegation that Gareth Pursehouse intentionally killed Amie Harwick by means of lying in wait within the meaning of Penal Code Section 190.2, subsection A, subsection 15 to be true. Dated September 28, 2023, juror number 1, foreperson. To count 2, we the jury the above entitled action and find the defendant, Gareth Pursehouse, guilty of the crime of burglary in the first degree in violation of Penal Code Section 459, a crime as charged in count 2 of the information. We further find the allegation that a person was present in the residence during the commission of the burglary to be true. Dated September 28, 2023, juror number 1, foreperson. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are these your verdicts? So say you one, so say you all.
Yes.
Thank you.
Would either side like the jury poll?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, as I call your juror number, please answer yes or no to the following question. Are these your verdicts and findings on the special allegation? Juror number 1.
Yes.
Juror number 2.
Yes.
Juror number 3.
Yes.
Juror number 4.
Yes.
Juror number 5.
Yes.
Juror number 6.
Yes.
Juror number 7.
Yes.
Juror number 8.
Yes.
Juror number 9.
Yes.
Juror number 10.
Yes.
Juror number 11.
Yes.
Juror number 12.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, obviously this now completes your jury service. I want to thank you. I gave you an estimate when this case started. It was unforeseen that the COVID illness was going to hit, and you were very diligent. I got to say that, and I thank you all, even the alternates. Sometimes you're the unsung heroes of this as well. Thank you so much. But that's the only way our system works, and that's with your participation. And I wish you all luck, and you are dismissed at this time. Thank you for serving.
Okay, jurors, as I stated before, if you wish to go through the freight elevator, my partner.
Well, what y'all think? So, guilty of murder in the first degree with the special condition of laying in wait, which makes it like more heinous. That's count 1. And then count 2, guilty of burglary in the first degree with a person in the residence at the time. So, y'all, we knew that 2 days ago. Well, when they finished. But they got it right. So, justice for Amie. Amie was a bright light. And I think it's really remarkable what she was able to do for people. Volunteering her time. He did not seem shocked at all, but he also didn't react to hardly anything the entire time. You know what I mean? Like, there was like 1 or 2 witnesses that he looked up and he was like actually watching a little bit. But other than that, he just stared down. I'm glad. You know what? You know how Jody has her little karaoke in the jailhouse? Well, maybe he can have like a stand-up comedy night, open mic night at the LA prison. And then he could tell all of his terrible jokes there. And then nobody will laugh there either. And then he can sell his stupid jokes for $1 million. What a buffoon. Improv night at San Quentin. Woo, woo. I mean, look, it ain't coleslaw wrestling at the biker bar, but it's right up there in those top 5 things that you want to do in life. Right up there. Oh, God. Is Tayo Toys in here? He's going to clip that. All right, let's do a poll. And then we're going to do a nap. Do you think the jury got it right? I'm trying to... trying to see if they're doing sentencing. E-service. I think sentencing's at a later date. Yeah, I think they're doing sentencing later. All right, 99% say they got it right. Well, somebody pressed the wrong button. Yeah. Oh yes, Toy White. I saw this today. So Gypsy Rose has been granted early parole. Gypsy Rose. That's a sad one. There's so many like documentaries and stuff on that one, but and there's like a made for TV type movie too. I can't remember, but look, I'm not saying it's okay what she did, but I'm saying I'm glad she's getting out. She's done her time. She's done a lot of time. She's done her prison sentence while she's in prison, and she did her prison sentence under her mama. And the abuse that she went through is awful. And I'm personally glad she's getting out. So maybe she can actually have this. Y'all, this will be the first time that she's going to be able to have a life without somebody having to tell her every single thing that she's going to be doing that day, or controlling every single thing she does. So, for those, I see y'all asking, sorry, my bad. I'm tired. So for those who don't know who she is, when she was growing up, her mama was saying that she was sick. And now, ironic, after yesterday's events, then it came out like that her mom was faking it. Basically, her mom knew all the different things like all the different medications and what it did to her, and gave her different symptoms. And she kept her sick, and she kept her, like, she wouldn't let her, just be a kid. She wouldn't let her live her life. It's really sad. I think she did 7 years, 8 years, something like that. But out of her 10, she had a 10-year sentence. But she ended up, so her mom, Dee Dee, who is this fella who just popped up on my screen? Oh, no, sir, I'm not interested in what you have to say. So her mom, Dee Dee, they believe she had Munchausen syndrome by proxy. So basically that means that she is, oh wait, hold on, I'm blurry. Hold on, wait. The force. Look at there. Talent. All right. So Dee Dee is thought to have Munchausen syndrome by proxy, which means she basically does everything that she can to keep Gypsy, her daughter, sick, so that she can get like attention and sympathy. And there were like fundraisers and stuff. Basically, the shit I got accused of doing, they were actually doing it. So she spent years and years of her poor life just dragging her through everything, y'all. Like, could you imagine having your mama, who's supposed to be the one taking care of you, to be putting you in this, this physical and emotional hell. I feel so bad for her. So she, you know, she would go around and like, she said that she had leukemia and had her on an oxygen tank. She had her in a wheelchair. Yeah, she had her teeth removed. She like portrayed herself as like this loving, caring, doting mother who just, you know, all she cared about was, you know, taking care of her poor sick daughter. And, you know, there were fundraisers and all kinds of stuff. And then Gypsy got on the internets. What'd I tell you about those internets? So Gypsy met a boy on the internets and they planned to meet at the movies. So Gypsy and her mom went to the movies. Hey, RA. Hello, recovery addict. Everybody wave through your portals at recovery addict. So they went to the movies and, yeah, recovery addict is I use the force to get it unblurry. Some people use like knobs and buttons, not me. No, sorry, Bob. I use the force. So anywho, they go to the movies and she meets this guy, Nick or whatever his name was. And, or what was his name? Was that his name? Hold on. Let me look it up. Let me look it up before I tell y'all the wrong name. I could be totally wrong. Oh, maybe I just made Nick up. Let's see. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, Nicholas. Okay, look at me, not making stuff up. I am. Like the tech goddess I am. I got demoted. I'm no longer a tech goddess. I am a tech executive vice president. That's all right. I hope to get promoted again. All right, so let's see. So yeah, Nick. So okay, so let's see. People who viewed the mother-daughter pair viewed them as inseparable and loving, and Dee Dee as a devoted parent. That was until a Facebook post appeared on the pair's shared Facebook profile in June of 2015, and it read, I ain't gonna say it because I'm a lady, but here, let me. And because I've cussed enough on this stream yesterday. I dropped 2 cuss words yesterday. Let's see. All right, so let me move this. So this is what it read. The bee is dead. I effing slashed that fat pig and did that to her sweet innocent daughter. Her scream was so effing loud, LOL. Obviously, that's demented. So when police arrived to the home, Dee Dee, the mom, who had been keeping Gypsy sick all these years and all that, was gone. She was later found at Nicholas's house, her then partner, who had a hand in Dee Dee's death. So he was found guilty of first-degree murder in Dee Dee's death and received a life sentence without the possibility of parole, meaning he will remain in prison. Gypsy pled guilty to second-degree murder charge in 2016 and was handed a 10-year sentence. So that's what that is. So she got early parole. And okay, but listen to this. After sentencing, Gypsy told BuzzFeed, quote, I feel like I'm more free in prison than living with my mom. Like, that's kind of sad. That's not kind of sad. That's really sad. Can you imagine the most free you've ever felt in your life being in prison? That is just heartbreaking for that child. So, she said, because now I'm allowed to just live like a normal woman. Okay, well, prison ain't normal living, but could you imagine thinking that that's the most normal that you get to be? Y'all know how I said something about how when I was having my full emotional mental breakdown yesterday in front of a live studio audience. Remember when I said something about how I don't tell people about, there's a lot I don't tell people about my sickness and the damage it's done to me. And the reason for that is because I don't like to feel like the sick girl. I don't want to be looked at as the sick girl. I don't tell people about the things that I have to deal with and the things that I have to go through on a daily basis, on a every 3-hour basis, to like the constant struggles. I don't tell people that, because when I go out, when I go out with my friends, I want to feel like I am out with friends, not like I'm the sick girl that they have to worry about taking care of, or can't go too far from the car, or, like having all of that baggage that comes along with being sick. Because when you're truly sick, which her mom was playing that, like making her play that role, like she was truly sick. When you are truly sick, it is a full-time job. It is a full-time job to be sick. You have constant doctor's appointments. You have constant issues with, health and sleep and medications and pain and, one thing after another. And then, one part of your body will start shutting down, and then another part will try to overcompensate, and then it'll mess that up. I mean, being sick is a full-time career. Full-time. It takes up every single bit of every single moment of every single day. And it is miserable. It is miserable. You can try to find the silver lining, and you can try to find those little pockets of time when you don't hurt quite so bad, or those little pockets of time when you can, actually fall asleep for more than an hour at a time, or those little pockets of time where you can kind of like get lost in a TV show or something and almost feel normal for just a second, but all you get are pockets of time. It is miserable. And for her to have that forced on her by her mother blows my mind. I cannot imagine how horrible that is for her. And again, I'm not saying it's okay what they did. I'm not saying it's okay. But what I'm saying is, I only had to deal with it for 2 years. Now, like I can live a semi-normal life. There are things I will never be able to do again, but I can live a semi-normal life. I can work around it. But when I was in a wheelchair and I was, having to do a walker, and I couldn't eat anything, and couldn't go anywhere, and couldn't sleep, and couldn't, hold down anything other than broth. And that was miserable. And she had that forced on her. My heart breaks. So I know that it's a sad situation, but man, if there was ever a murder conviction that I had sympathy for, it would be her. She got married to, because I get this, to live like a normal woman. She's not going to live like a normal woman in prison, but it's like I understand what she's saying, like a normal woman as in she's not the sick girl anymore. She doesn't have all of that baggage constantly on her where it's taking up every single moment of every single day. She can live like a normal woman because she can get up and walk herself to the bathroom. She can get up and, walk herself to, chow hall at the specific time with armed guards or whatever. But the point is she's having to go by what people are telling her to do. But she's able to do it. And there's light at the end of her long, dark tunnel. And I just think that that's beautiful for her. And I hope the best for her. I really do. I hope the best for her. I can't imagine. I went through it for 2 years and I can remember laying on a hospital bed thinking, like, I don't even want to fight anymore. If this is how every day is going to be, it's not worth it. And And I only had to do it for 2 years. I cannot imagine spending your entire life like that. I feel more empathy for her than you know, than I do for her mom, who was the victim. Well, that victim. I feel bad for her. So prayers for her that she has an amazing, full life and that she, makes the best of her freedom, because this is going to be the first time that she actually has true freedom. So I hope that I hope that works out for her. Man, I'll be trying to keep up with her. She'll be released on December 28th, 2023. Her family friend that grew up with her says that she believes that she will, with the help of a lot of people, thrive and become a better person. So, family friend said that Gypsy has received very little mental health care while in prison, and she hopes she'll have more access to it outside the facility. That's going to be a big shock for her. So, oh, and she got married to 36-year-old Ryan Scott Anderson in prison and then divorced him 4 months later. How you going to get married in prison and get divorced 4 months later? Where else you got to be? If you got married while you're in prison, it's not like they got married before and then they went to prison and they were like, oh, this isn't going to work. They got married in prison. Let's see. She also gave insight into Dee Dee's character, explaining how she could trick people so easily. She was a good friend, but she just had a way of befriending someone, pretending to be their best friend, and then turning around and stabbing you in the back and you not even realizing it. The documentaries and stuff I've seen on her, she seems like she had so many people full of people were like doing fundraisers, for her, and like thinking like, man, she's got such a tough life. Her entire life is dedicated to taking care of this girl. And that's what everybody believed. And she had them fooled. Because, why would you question that? Who fakes something like that? Who would look at somebody who's sick like that and be like, oh, I bet that's not real. It's crazy. I've followed that one for a long time. I was actually glad to see that she got early release. All right. So with that being said, I'm going back to bed, y'all. 97% of you said that they got the verdict right. 3% of you probably just hit the wrong button like you always do, because Lord knows we can't have a poll without y'all hitting the wrong button. But I appreciate the effort. A for effort. Tomorrow we have the other one I was telling y'all about, the Boy in the Box. I think jury selection starts tomorrow. I would tell y'all I'm going to look into it tonight. I'm not. My butt is going right back over yonder to that bed and laying down, but I will wake up bright and early and look again. We have, now that this one's taken care of, we are done with the West Coast. So now we're back in Massachusetts in the morning for our other verdict watch. They start at 9 a.m. Eastern, which means we will start at 9 a.m. Eastern. And then we will look at the Boy in the Box stuff and we'll finish going over that, the one that I was telling y'all about, because that's the next one. I think they start jury selection tomorrow, which means the trial won't start until next week, which is great. Because I've still got the podcast to record, and at some point I have to eat this piece of toast that's been sitting here since 7 a.m. and sleep. So y'all, thank you so much. I'm glad we got a verdict tonight. Now we don't have to have a long day tomorrow. Hopefully y'all send all your good vibes, manifest it, put it out in the air that we're going to get the other verdict tomorrow, bright and early, and then we'll have an early day. Where's Boy in the Box at? Florida. It's going to be if it ain't in Florida, it's in Idaho or Wisconsin. This one's in Florida. So, but I think that one starts to jury selection starts tomorrow. So we'll take a look at all that in the morning. We'll have time while we're waiting on paint to dry from the chat boyfriend. All right, y'all. I love y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and go get some rest, and happy Friday Eve. I will see y'all in the morning.